Hi, good morning to Pondiana and my fellow friends. Today, my group will present about income tax. My group members are Uijahui, Maitisa, Sandhya, and Zaitun. What is tax? Tax is a mandatory fee or financial charge levied by any government on an individual or an organization to collect revenue for public works, providing the best facilities and infrastructure. What is the use of tax? Taxes are the primary source of revenue for most governments. Among other things, this money is spent to improve and maintain public infrastructure, including the roads we travel on, and fund public services such as schools, emergency services, and welfare programs.
Why income tax is required? The primary role of the country's fiscal system is to raise revenue for governmental expenditure, and the greater part of its revenue is raised through taxation.
So, who collect the income tax? Inland Revenue Board (IRB) or in Malay, Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri (HDN). Income tax imposed on income earned by a salaried individual or company operating in Malaysia. Each salaried individual and profitable company is required to register as a taxpayer, assess annual income, and pay the income tax annually. They need to report all their income, tax exemptions such as gift, donation, and contribution, tax reduction, tax relief such as medical treatment, EPF and education fee, and tax rebate of 400 ringgit were given to the individual that chargeable income does not exceed 35,000 ringgit. They need to submit their income tax return form ITRF by phone or electronically through the internet. Exact Hasil. Self-assessment system also implemented. Taxpayers should make self-assessment, keep record and pay a certain amount of tax. First, self-assessment, making own income tax calculation. Assessment is made for the previous year. For example, assessment for year 2019 is made in year 2020. The deadline for submission ITRF and tax payment for individual who does not own a business BE form is 30 April, while for an individual who owns a business, B form is 30 June. Next, keep records. All documents such as forms and original copy of receipt must be kept for 7 years. Last, payment. Tax payment can be made in a lump sum to the Inland Revenue Board (IRB) or through monthly tax deduction (PCB).
So, in this topic, you should able to calculate chargeable income, calculate income tax, payable income tax, and subtract tax rebate. For your information, chargeable income does not exceed RM 35,000 is given tax rebate of RM 400. The amount of zakat or fitrah paid by Muslim citizens only. Let's move on to formula of chargeable income. Chargeable income equals to total annual income minus tax exemption minus tax relief. PF few example question for this topic. Let's see the first question. It's given that total income equals to 80,500 ringgit, tax exemption equals to 2,500 ringgit, tax relief equals to 11,000. So, how do we calculate the chargeable income? Chargeable income equals to 80,500 ringgit minus by 2,500 ringgit minus 11,000. So we can get the answer for chargeable income is 67,000. So let's move on to example question number 2. They have given that total income is 69,450 ringgit. For individual, they have given that 9,000 ringgit. And for life insurance and KWSP, they have given that 5,450 ringgit. And they also mentioned that limited to RM 7,000, which is life insurance and KWSP must be equals to RM 7,000 or less than RM 7,000, and it goes same for medical insurance. They have given that 3,500 ringgit for medical insurance, and they also mentioned that limited to Rm 3000 medical insurance. So we should take the amount of Rm 3000. So here the calculation goes like this. Chargeable income equals to 69,450 ringgit minus by 9,000 ringgit minus by 5,450 ringgit minus by 3,000 ringgit. So we can get the chargeable income, which is Rm 52,000. Example question number 3. They have given us a table which is contain chargeable income, calculations, rate and tax. For the calculation, we already know that chargeable income is 105,640 ringgit. To identify tax on the first Rm 100,000, you should see the table given. The table given says that for the tax on the first Rm 100,000 is Rm 10,900. To find tax on the next balance, you should take the amount of 105,640 ringgit, which is chargeable income, minus by 100,000 ringgit, and you should tax by 24%. The 24% you can get from the table given. So for the tax on the next balance, we can get the total amount of 1,350 ringgit 60 cent. So for payable income tax, you should take the amount of 10,900 ringgit plus with the tax on the next balance, which is 1,350 ringgit 60 cent.
That's all from us. Thank you for listening.